Since the release of the CDJ-3000 back in 2009, aside from using it standalone with a rekordbox exported USB flash drive, one of the key features was the ability for DJs using different DJ software to be able to connect and use the CDJs just like a DJ controller. Unlike using DVS with time-coded tracks, DJs could enjoy their DJ software with fully functional CDJs, from real-time tempo display, functional cue buttons and hot cues, as well as loops, beat jump, and all their playlists showing up on the CDJ display. As time went on, even a full waveform support was included where the waveform showed up on the display. This controller-like mode is known as HID mode, short for Human Interface Device. It's helped diversify the functionality of DJ booths in clubs across the world simply by being compatible with different DJ software using the same DJ hardware. It's made the flagship CDJs truly the most universal piece of gear simply because it can be used by most, if not all, major DJ software. But as many DJs know, CDJs upon release are not immediately supported by third-party DJ software during launch. DJ software developers like Serato and Native Instruments usually roll out the HID mode support within 1 to 2 years after release. In a few cases, developers don't even release HID support at all. For example, the XDJ-1000 Mark II never received HID mode support from Serato, despite them supporting earlier models like the XDJ-1000. And same goes for the XDJ-700. And the CDJ-3000s are no exception to the HID support rollout. During its release date, it began by only being supported by Pioneer DJ's rekordbox as the initial HID-capable software. Makes sense since rekordbox is owned by Pioneer DJ and is also the software used to export music to flash drive to play on the CDJs in standalone laptop free. Within a year from the launch of the CDJ-3000, HID support was rolled out for Virtual DJ, Algorithm's DJ Pro AI, and the recent Native Instruments Traktor Pro 3. If you're a Serato user, don't worry. HID mode support for the CDJ-3000 is indeed on the way and will be released sometime later this year. I've done a recent video demoing DJ Pro AI's HID support, which you can find in this link above. But today, we're going to be exploring the new CDJ-3000 HID mode support for Traktor Pro 3. But first, this video is made possible by Direct Music Service. DMS is an online database where DJs can get their music from. There's thousands of unique edits, remixes, and originals that you can choose from of your favorite tracks that you can use to rock your next dance floor. They also have an app that you can use on your mobile device where you can browse their database and then save songs so that it appears on your Dropbox when you get home. I'm going to leave you 2 discount links down below in the pinned comment if you want to subscribe. Go to directmusicservice.com today to sign up. Now, I must remind folks, the whole point of HID mode is not to get folks to go out and buy CDJ-3000s just to use as a controller. There are other CDJs on the market that can get that job done and also cost less. But with CDJs in many booths around the world and the CDJ-3000s being installed in more and more venues, HID mode support provides an option so that DJs don't have to bring their own gear to the club just so they can use their own software. So now if you use Traktor, DJ Pro AI, Virtual DJ, or prefer rekordbox in performance mode, the CDJ-3000s work with your software. Serato coming soon. To set up Traktor HID mode for the CDJ-3000, you must be running the latest version of Traktor Pro 3. I believe it's version 3.5. With both CDJs connected via USB to your laptop, you click Source, and then scroll down to Control Mode, and then you select the corresponding deck. This one would be A, so this one would be B. Now you have full jog control with high-resolution waveform on the CDJ display with the ability to zoom. The frame rate is not quite 60 frames per second, but it's definitely above 30, so you still get a smooth movement of the waveform. Unlike timecode that is reactive, you get real-time response of the tempo and speed % change value. Your cue and play button functions as you would expect on a CDJ, as well as all 8 of your hotkey buttons.
When the beat go.
Familiar CDJ-3000 touch display functions like auto loop and beat jump are all here, as well as dedicated performance buttons. Now let's get to the jog wheel response. One thing about HID mode is that it's not all made the same. The way they respond and the way they sound can vary between software and between devices. Sometimes the performance of HID mode can vary between software, and also the same software on different CDJs can perform differently as well. And with Traktor's implementation on the CDJ-3000, this may be the case. If you're a scratcher, this is really important to know. Normally, I would test it out by doing a Peter Piper routine to show the performance, but the Traktor HID has a strong delay on the jog wheel response. When you listen to my chirps, they're not as pronounced as they are compared to using Traktor in DVS mode with a timecode signal. You might wonder if it's actually the settings. So if you look at my settings and we go to audio setup, you'll see that I have a fair setting of 256 samples for the buffer size. And once again, it sounds just fine with the timecode signal. I can't even get a Joe Cooley out. Now let's do a lag test. It's basically looking at the response of the rotation indicator compared to your finger on the jog wheel. So watch the rotation indicator in relation to my finger. There's kind of a bounce where they're going like that. Now let's look at it on the timecode. The rotation indicator stays really close, and the rotation indicator is basically the visual representation of what you're hearing. That's why you can see more of a lag on the HID. Now, if your computer lets you, you can crank the buffer down to 64 samples to get somewhat of a better response from the jog, but it comes with a penalty of buffer-related glitches. Now let's try with timecode. Back to HID. Now let's bring it back to 256. Now, just to show you that Traktor didn't always make it like this, I'm going to show you the CDJ-3000 Nexus 2 in HID mode side to side with how Traktor implemented the one on the CDJ-3000. Notice the chirps are more pronounced and that there is no lag. Now let's compare Traktor's to Virtual DJ. Traktor's again. Now DJ Pro AI. And lastly, record box. Now, most tractor users who are turntablists or most likely to scratch are more than likely using turntables with timecode vinyl for their sets. And the majority of tractor users are usually electronic music artists and controllerists who don't scratch. But if you happen to be one of the few folks who needs responsive jog wheels for scratching and you use tractor, it's best to use timecode with the CDJ-3000s, so you're in DVS mode, or use an older CDJ like the CDJ-2000 XS2, or simply stick to using turntables with tractor timecode vinyl. As for the house and techno heads, Traktor CDJ-3000 HID support can now give you full CDJ experience while using your favorite software. The jog is responsive enough for pitch bends, but the on-CDJ control of your software gives you enough tactile controls so you might not even need your laptop in view. You get the best of Traktor, but with the functionality of the flagship industry standard gear. All right, if you got any questions, comments, or anything to add about what we talked about today, please leave them in the comment section below. Would love to hear your thoughts, answer any questions, or learn anything new that I didn't cover in this video. If you like this video, please smash that like button. And if it's your first time here and you found this video useful, please click that subscribe button. And don't forget to click that little bell icon so you get a notification the next time I upload a video. If you're curious about the gear we talked about today and you're ready to pick it up, be sure to use the product links that I'm leaving below from Zounds. Zounds has one of the best payment plan programs you can find online. It's one of the easiest to qualify for. So if you're ready to pick this up today, use the links from Zounds. Don't forget to add me on my Twitch account. Follow me on Twitch because that is where I do my live stream mix shows on. I like to switch up the type of gear that I talk about here on my YouTube. So if you want to see it live in action, watch it on my Twitch channel. All right, really appreciate you for watching. Thanks, take care, stay healthy. The force is with you always.